No, just be quiet for a second so we can make sure it's working.
Hello everyone, I'm Louise Park.
No, it
Welcome
says
to the
mute.
Mini Writing Festival for 2023. A quick note. Before we get started, this is live and being recorded. So teachers, if there are any students without media permission, please move them out of the view of the camera. We'd love you to change your Zoom profile to your school name and get ready to hold up signs to the camera with the name of your school and the Aboriginal land you're on. We're all joining from different parts of the country. Here in the studio, we're on the lands of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. I'd like to pay my respects to elders past and present and acknowledge Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples as our first storytellers. On Thursday, we're lucky enough to have Jasmine Seymour joining the festival, and she has very kindly given us this beautiful acknowledgement of country. Here are my friends, here am I. Here is the ground, here is the sky. We acknowledge that we play and learn on many different lands. Okay, little scribers, get ready as we are going to zoom around the country. Hold up your signs to the camera, nice and still, and let us know where you're from.
Wow.
Woohoo! Oh, Dungong. Dungong, welcome Dungon, St. Joseph's Dungon. Inverloch Primary School, oh, it's so lovely to see you all, hi. Who else have we got there? Hold your signs up. Strawn Primary School, all the way from Victoria, hey? Oh, fabulous. Hi, Strawn. Italian Bilingual School. I think if you're in New South Wales, I visited you. Oh, hello, everyone. Coco North Public School, the land of the saltwater people. Beautiful. Hi, Coco. All righty. Last one, Sapphire Coast Anglican College. Thank you so much. And it's so good to see you all today. Hello everyone, I'm Louise Park and I'm your host for today's Little Scribe Workshop. I am delighted to introduce the awesome Sue Whiting. You may know some of her books such as Pearly and Pig, Tilda, and her latest book, The Wheelbarrow Express, a really good picture book. Hi Sue and welcome.
Hi Louise, hello little scribers. I'm really looking forward to scribing with you today.
Absolutely. And we're very excited to have our resident illustrator in the studio with us. He'll be with us for every workshop in the festival. I'm sure many of you know James Foley of Secret Agent Mole and Stellarphant fame and many other much loved titles. Welcome, James.
Thank you very much, Louise. It's so lovely to see everybody out there in Little Scribe Land. I am James Foley, yes. I am here in the studio for the first time this year. I'm from Perth originally, which is the lands of the Whadjuk Noongar people, but I'm very glad to be here on Gadigal land and zooming out to you all today.
Welcome, James. Thank you so much. So are we ready, little scribers? In today's workshop, we're going to be creating rich and strongly developed characters and how you can use them to drive a story. And you'll be developing a curious character of your own. But for now, we're going to start with Sue's vocabulary challenge. Sue, you've chosen some really intriguing words. Tell us what they are and a little bit about them.
Thanks Louise, I will. Now the words I've chosen for the challenge are nibbled, gobbled and slurped. I love these words and I've chosen them for a very particular reason. And the reason I've chosen them is because they are all really strong verbs. And really strong verbs, using really strong verbs is a little trick that authors use all the time to make their stories more vivid and interesting. It brings them to life. And I've chosen these particular three words for a very special reason, because today we're going to be creating some animal characters. And I chose these three words because I think they're really good words that describe how a character, an animal might eat. So if you think about it, nibbled, even the sound of that word, it sounds like this little gnawing away kind of action. So you might be able to use it in a sentence like, the little mouse nibbled at a chunk of cheese, little tiny bites. And then when we're taking gobbled, well, that's a bigger, louder, hungry kind of sounding word to me. So I imagine a hungry koala gobbled 100 gum leaves in one gulp kind of sentence for that one. And slurped. Oh, I love the sound.
I
of the
love
word
slurped too.
Slurped. It sounds like it, the action, doesn't it? So it's a very messy, noisy, kind of wet kind of word, slurped. So perhaps you could have the new puppy slurped down his bowl of kibble. Now, these verbs are so much stronger than just saying eat or ate or chewed even. So what I would like you to do, little scribers, is I would like you to see if you can have a bit of a brainstorm now and think of some other strong verbs that you might have that could describe how an animal could eat. Can you think of one, Loise?
Oh, what about gobbled? I quite
Gobbled
like
would be a good
gobbled.
one.
Okay, little scribers, get your pens and go. Come up with as many words as you can to describe the action of eating. And while you're doing that, if you need a little help, we might have a look at what James is
Oh,
up
yes,
to,
what's he up
because
to?
he'll be coming up with some intriguing words and writing them down.
I'm just writing down Sue's vocab words here, but I'm also just drawing a animal. I have no idea what this is.
animal
but it is,
eating?
it's nibbling and gobbling and slurping. Yes. So if we can pull that up on the screen, here we go. So
Oh, yes.
I don't know what that is, but hopefully this person doesn't get nibbled or gobbled or slurped.
And I hope that you're putting down some really interesting words that we haven't thought of.
I wonder, crunched. That would be a good one.
Crunched.
wouldn't
Oh,
it?
crunched.
I like
Crunch
that
is
one.
good.
Are any
Crunched.
coming up on the chat, Louise?
Gobbled. You know, my dog inhales. He inhales food. Gone.
I think we need to make sure everyone on your own screens, if you could pin Little Scribe to your Zoom screen, because otherwise it's going to keep zooming around to other different screens. But we can't pin for you. You'll have to pin on your own screen. If you can do that, then the speaker will stay up on the screen the whole time.
Thank you.
Fabulous.
No
Okay.
worries.
Thank you.
Have we got any coming up in the chat? Any good
Demolished.
words?
Yes, we've got
Demolished is a great
demolished
one.
on the
that would
chat.
be- I love demolished. That'd be really
And that
good.
is from Jamie Lee Poole. Please put your school name into the Zoom for me, because then I'll be able to give a shout out to you. St Mary, St Joseph Maroubra, crunched.
Crunched. Yep, that was
Yep.
my one. I had that one down here. Crunched.
St Francis Xavier, crunched. We had that one. Yep.
I had
coming thick and
munched,
fast
which is
now.
a
Oh,
bit
they're
like
coming
crunched.
thick and fast now.
Yep.
So I think they're ready, Sue. Let's have a quick zoom around.
Right.
Hold up your work to the camera and hold it still so we can see what words you've come
Can't
up
wait to
with.
see.
We had vacuumed,
Oh,
Oh,
Vacuumed up.
that's a
vacuum.
great one. Vacuumed. I know.
scoffed.
St Peter's Woodlands, munched, devour, demolished. Oh, such great words.
Wolfed. Wolfed down.
Wolfed down.
Isn't it funny you can have
I
that
need-
named after an animal, but you can't have like sharked.
Well,
But you have wolfed.
wolfed. Yeah, that's really interesting.
It
But you
is.
could use sharked if you wanted to.
Oh,
right?
here we go. We've
Oh, look, here we go.
We've
Look
got
at
some
them.
up. Hold your work close to the camera for us so that we can see it.
Oh no.
Oh, look.
Oh, slobbed.
That's a good one.
That is-
slobbed.
Oh,
Snapped.
Well
Yep.
done holding that one
Fantastic,
up. Snapped,
that's really
crunched
good.
and chopped. Very clear.
Yeah,
Thank you
chomped
so much.
is a really good word too. I like the sound of the word chomped.
Chomped is
Fantastic.
so good.
Can we
Or
look at another one
chewed.
perhaps? Is there another one whole?
Oh, what about scoffed? That's a good
Scoffed.
one.
We're thinking of a lot today, aren't we? I was
And swallowed. That's one we didn't even have yet. It's so
Yep,
obvious.
swallowed. It is
Swallowed.
so obvious.
swallowed.
So,
Absolutely.
wow.
Great.
There are a lot of
Fantastic.
great words there that
they
you
might-
will be able to use.
I think so. And they'll be able to use those when they develop their character, I think.
Yep.
And when they're writing their stories. To
Yep.
bring the story about their character to life.
Yep,
So that's a great start. Well
absolutely.
done, little scribers.
Yes, so
Hmm.
that brings us to our next challenge, little scribers. We are going to start on the writing challenge. And today you're going to create a curious character.
Right.
But first, what is a character, Sue?
Good question. Good question. What are characters? Look, characters to me are so important. Characters are the beings that sort of people your stories. And so they often are humans. Lots of human characters in stories. Sometimes they're fantasy characters like a dragon or a fairy. Other times they can be animal characters. And that's the type of character that we're going to create today. We're going to create an animal character. And you know, look, characters are so important in stories because I believe that if you don't have any characters in your story, you don't actually have a story. No characters, no story. That's what I believe. I often think that and say that a lot. No characters, no story.
Absolutely.
Because stories are all about characters, how they act and react, what they do, how they think and feel when they're faced with a challenge or a problem. That's what a story is. And so if you don't have any characters, you don't have a story. Now, in my Pearly and Pig series, you can see the books here. The main character is a girl called Pearly Woe, and she loves animals, and so do I actually, so that was easy to write. And she has a special ability to be able to communicate with animals. And for me, as the writer of this book, that meant I got to create lots of animal characters for Pearly. So I got to create Pig, here's Pig over here. Pig is her partner in adventure. And I got to create penguin characters and a polar bear character and an elephant character. And for this story here, Pearly and Pig and the Lost City of New Savant, I got to create a monkey character, this monkey character here called Wawa. Now, I chose a monkey character very particularly because this story is set in a jungle. And I know there are lots of monkeys in jungles. And I also knew that a monkey character could be good for my story. So when you're creating a character, the first step you need to do is to pick an animal. And you might like to pick an animal that you know already. Maybe it's your favorite animal, or maybe it'll be an animal that you know, just like I knew with this monkey character, would be good in a story. So our first step is we need to choose an animal for our story. And then once you've chosen that animal, what you need to do is to collect information, collect facts. So when I was developing Wawa as a character, I watched lots of YouTube videos and movies, and I read books, and I looked at lots and lots of pictures, and I started to collect information and jot it down on a piece of paper so that I got to know what monkeys were like. So I discovered things like monkeys have golden brown fur, they have pointy ears, they love to eat bananas, gobble bananas, that would be a good word.
Bananas.
They're good at climbing and swinging, they've got long tails, all things that would be really good for a story. I also, from my own experience, knew that monkeys can sometimes be a little bit naughty and a little bit cheeky.
Absolutely.
Because one once tried to steal my sunglasses when I was on holidays.
One tried to steal my bag.
Yes, worse still. So I jotted all those things down as I was going to create this character. So now, little scribers, it's your turn. First thing I want you to do is to choose an animal, write that animal in the middle of your page or draw a picture, I don't mind. And then I want you to start to jot down all around that animal name, lots of different things that you might know about that animal. So you might, things that you already know. You might find out some more things later on if you look at pictures and do a bit of research, but jot down the things that you know, like things that what the animal might look like, jot down things where it might live, all those kinds of things. So I'm going to hand over to you now.
Thank you. So little scribers, get cracking. Pick up your pens and pencils and you can draw your character, or you can write the name of your character in the middle of the page, and then fill that page with everything that you can recall or think of from movies you saw that character in, books you've read with that animal, anything at all that you know, any curious facts that you know. And while you're doing that, we might have a look at what James is doing, because he's brainstorming his animal character, and I'm really keen to see what his
I wonder who he's going to come up with.
Going to be.
Oh, no, I haven't even started that yet, everybody. I'm just writing down what the challenge is so they all know. Look, challenge, okay? Choose one. Choose an animal. You can draw the animal. You can write down the name of the animal. Then brainstorm facts you know about the animal, things like what it looks like, what it eats, where it lives. I'm not sure what animal to choose. Maybe I'll pick one that's in the chat. If anyone of the schools want to put down an animal and challenge me to brainstorm one on the spot. I know a lot about naked mole rats. Don't ask me why. I like biology.
Somebody is asking for an orca.
Orca, platypus.
that would be a good one.
Platypus.
Hippos. Look, I can draw all these, I think. These are all pretty fun.
We're going to have to choose really quickly, James, because we've only got 2 minutes to do this activity.
ducks.
To get us started.
Giraffe, kiwifish, red panda, chameleon. Everyone's got amazing ideas. I'm just going to choose one that you know. That came up. Oh, hippos are funny. Hippos are great. I'm going to draw a hippo.
Okay,
so
James is doing a hippo, but you don't have to do a hippo. You do what you want to do. Whatever animal character you've chosen, get drawing, because we've only got another minute. So get drawing and put your animal character down and start filling that page with as many things as you can think of about that animal. It might be description.
It could be description, like what the character looks like. Because whether the character has feathers or fur
Yep.
or scales or
Yep.
something else, that
Yep.
could be interesting.
It might be about where they live,
Absolutely.
And
And
where
the
they sleep.
noises they
the
make.
noises they
Yeah.
make.
That because
Yep.
noises would be really good to use in a story, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
noises they
yeah.
make. And maybe some of their behaviour, like maybe they're really shy.
Yeah.
Perhaps they sleep in the day and they hunt at night.
Yep.
Anything you know about that animal that might help you with your story. So jot down all that information all around your picture
Yep.
or your name.
The more information you can get down now, the easier it will be when you come to do some writing. So James is saying,
Oh,
my animal character loves mud baths, which is true of a hippo. Well
they
done.
do.
They're very large and heavy. Or they're great swimmers.
These are really good things
These
to
are
use in
really
a
good
story.
things.
What's
And
a
I know
strong
you're
line?
getting some good things down, little scribers.
And
so-
hippopotamuses are very dangerous, and that's a good thing to know if you're going to have a hippopotamus character. That they
Yes.
can be dangerous.
Yes, you don't want to get close to a hippopotamus.
Yeah.
Even one that's eating cake on the roof of your
Now-
house.
This I didn't. Their sweat is red and acts like sunscreen. Is this a true fact? Do you
Yeah,
know this?
that's true. Yeah.
The things you know, James. That's amazing.
It's this strange, like rusty color, and it actually has this sort of sun protective ability. So
the
it's
things
very
that
handy.
are inside your brain, James, never.
Isn't that interesting?
cease to
Why
astound
weren't
me.
humans given that? We need that.
We look like we were sweating blood, I think.
Okay.
I can tell you a gross fact about hippos. When they go to the toilet, their tails go brrrr, and it all just goes everywhere.
Lovely.
It's like
Thank you so much for that, James.
Gross. I can
James-
by that. I'll draw a visual if you like.
No, that's okay.
Oh,
because-
isn't
alright,
that visual?
Yeah,
I think we
need to
might
zoom
move
around.
on. So, little scribers,
see what
we
we're up
would
with.
love to see your work. So, if you could hold up your work close to the camera and let us see what animals you've created. We're looking out for it. And in the chat, make sure you include your school name so I can do a
Yes.
shout out to you. Some of them have the teacher names on there, and I don't know what the school is.
Look at all
so
those schools.
if you could change that, that would be great. Belrose Public School, a
Oh,
chameleon.
we've got a giraffe.
Ooh.
Oh, we've got a
Wonderful.
sheet ready
Oh,
here to do
Sammy the
this.
shark,
Fantastic.
Billy the bumblebee.
Okay, giraffes, very big, long neck. If you can hold your paper super still,
Yes,
Yeah.
it's hard to read that
then
one.
we can have a go at reading it.
Oh,
Oh, look
okay,
at that
we've got a
one.
mouse.
I like how they're doing like a mind
They're
map with
little.
that.
They squeak.
They're
Mm.
little, what's that word? They,
I'm not sure. Sausage dog, very small legs. Woof.
Yeah, the
oh,
they-
the
and
way
they
he
eat.
eats. Horses. They poo.
They do. They do.
Yes, thanks for that, James. That's where
Hey,
you
that's a
sent
very
everybody.
good rabbit there. Yeah, very good rabbit.
They eat carrots. They are very light. But you know, my dog eats carrots. So it's not only bunnies that eat carrots. There you go.
Hey everyone. It's room 212
Hey,
and 213 from
beautiful
BPS.
Fabulous work there. Oh, we've got an ape that's strong, cheeky, and lives in the jungle, and that's from St. Clair.
Oh, we've got dragon as their animal.
Oh, I love it.
Very handy.
Well, that's a great giraffe.
Oh, it's got a name too.
Oh.
Gil.
They're already up to the next step.
Yep,
They're ahead
we're
of
ready.
themselves.
We're ready to go. So,
Okay.
pens down and listening because Sue's going to take you through the next step now.
Fantastic. They were great ideas, and I can see some fantastic characters already starting to be developed. So once you have collected lots of information about the real animal, now it's time to sprinkle on a little bit of imagination and to take that real animal and what you know about it and turn it into a character. And when I do that, the first thing that I do is I give the animal a name. So when I was creating this little monkey character, after I found out all those facts about my monkey character, I thought, what name would really suit this character? And I came up with the name of Wawa. And I came up with Wawa for lots of reasons, because first up, I think it's fun. And I wanted this character to be a fun character. So that's really important. And also, when I was listening to lots of monkey noises, I kind of heard this wah, 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 wah kind of noise in the background. And so that's how I came up with the name for Wawa. Now, once you've got your character name, your character has a bit of an identity, but we can do more. We need to give the character a personality. And we do that by creating some character traits. We decide what kind of character your animal's going to be. And sometimes I use what I know about the character to help me decide on those character traits. Now, for instance, with Wawa, the first thing I made him was, he was a very cheeky and naughty kind of character. In fact, you know what he calls Pearly? He calls Pearly Banana Head.
Banana
That's
head.
how cheeky he is. So, and that's something that was real about the monkeys as well. And I also decided that he's a very hungry and very greedy character, monkey, and he eats bananas gobbles, inhales
Yep.
bananas all the time. And the third thing I decided was that he's a bit of a show-off. He likes the attention. He likes the limelight. He's a bit of a show-off. So now it's your turn. Your turn to use your imaginations to take that real animal, sprinkle a bit of imagination over him or her, and decide what that character is going to be like. So number one, decide on a name, and then decide on 3 character traits that'll tell us something about that character's personality, and that will bring that character to life on the page. All right?
Excellent. Okay, little scribers, get writing. We want an animal character name, and we want at least 3